Thank you so much for the great check. And now, joining us on the mound for the ceremonial first pitch today, please welcome Ashley Dane from the Eagan Fire Department and Lieutenant Nate Tennyson from the Eagan Police Department. Today, they are joined by an on-duty engine crew and patrol officers who are proud to have as part of our Wildcat family. Please join us in a round of applause for our local first responders. And joining them in the middle is, from our youth program, 13-year-old Fox Wiederfeld. Nice pitches. Great job. Folks, we're just about 10 minutes away from game time. So please, grab yourself something to eat, something to drink. Concessions are open. We have all sorts of great things happening on the adjacent field right behind us for our youth athletes, and be ready to go in just about 15 minutes from now. Thank you to all our fire crew that are here with us today. Ashley Dane, Batting sixth, second baseman number 3, Noah Brill. Batting seventh, your catcher, number 21, Ben Dowzak. Batting eighth, left fielder, number 25, Aiden Harrelson. And batting ninth, the pitcher, number 19, Reed Marlin. Playing first base, number 16, Hudson Harbaugh. Your coaches are head coach Brent Goracki, assisted by Jake Plutasek, Corey Kennedy, and Kelby Johnson. Now at this time, let's meet the starters for your Eagan Wildcats. Leading off, center fielder, number 11, Oliver Anderson. Batting second, designated hitter, number 21, Will Mitchell. Batting third, your catcher, number 14, Brandon Lunneberg. Cleaning up for your Wildcats, right fielder, number 18, Drew McShane. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 5, Drew Boyd. Batting sixth, third baseman, number 33, Aiden Canty. And batting seventh, your first baseman, number 19, Brody Ela. Batting eighth, second baseman, number 27, Darwin Black Deer Prado. And batting ninth, your shortstop, number 33, Parker Pangier. Starting on the mound for your Eagan Wildcats this afternoon, number 24, Wyatt Jelenu. Your Wildcats are coached by Steve Butler with assistance of Will Bush, Soren Agard, and Paul Weinberg. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise and remove your hats to honor America and those who serve. Please join us in the presentation of our nation's colors, proudly presented by our friends from American Legion Post 594. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem, performed by Eagan High School student Ellie Keller.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Excellent job. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, one more big round of applause for our friends from our local American Legion. Well, looks like the players are ready, the umpires are ready, and we're ready too. That means one thing, and one thing only. It's time for Eagan Wildcat Baseball.
Let's go.
Welcome to a little overcast here today on Eagan TV. We have Lakeville South, the Cougars, traveling to take on the Eagan Wildcats, a 2-6 Lakeville South Cougars versus a 5-4 Eagan Wildcats. Casey Lux, your announcer here today. We got the dynamic duo, hopefully not to be called the doofus duo later, back together again. I'm here with Skip Newton on the color commentary. Skip, how are you doing on this Wednesday?
I'm doing great. It's fun to be here. It's like you said, it's a little overcast. The wind is blowing out to right field this time, a little cooler than the last time you were on with Eagan TV, but Eagan's done nothing but win baseball games since our first broadcast, so I like the winning streak.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of a tale of two seasons, right? As we're taking a look here, as our starting pitcher will be Wyatt Jeleno. Lakeville South, they started off the year with the home opener against over Eagan, 6-4. Then they won at Eastview, 6-4. And then they've been on a little bit of a losing, bumbling streak right now as they're looking to turn that around as they've lost 6 in a row. A few tight ones in there. And then for Eagan, they kind of went back and forth. But like Skip just alluded to, now they're on a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah, it's nice to feel like you're hot. And I remember, early in the season, the Wildcats really struggled to put some runs on the board. Of course, they ended that in a big fashion in that first game on Eagan TV with 21 against Burnsville. That kind of set the stage. They've been scoring much more regularly since then. Yeah,
and like you said, 21-6. That was back on the 16th. That was the one that Skip, you did. Versus Burnsville, then a 3-0 win at Apple Valley, and then they put up 16 on the road against Eastview. That was a 16-4 win, and then yesterday at home against Prior Lake, they won 8-2. And yesterday's game, for a quick recap, if you weren't able to check it out, well, they scored 1 in the bottom of the first, 4 in the bottom of the third, and then 3 more in the bottom of the third. Will Mitchell 1 for 2 with 2 runs, a walk, a stolen base. Brody Illa was the starting pitcher, and he was the pitcher of record. 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks, and 1 walk, only on 80 pitches. So very efficient outing from Illa.
Yeah, and we hope to see that again tonight. We've got Wyatt Jeleno on the mound, first start of the season. So excited to see what he brings. He's pitched 4 innings, has a 1.75 ERA, so he's looked good in those 4 innings. He gave up a few unearned runs, but hopefully he can get on there, throw some strikes early, get ahead of the batters.
Yeah, and Jeleno is only a sophomore. So we saw him last year, Skip, as a freshman, called up to make some spot starts, and then he found his way to stay in the lineup. We'll give you the outfield here in a second, but we're ready to go here as Cashton Botten steps in, the shortstop leadoff hitter, and they're going to be donning their maroon and whites here today. A little Gopher look today here for you, Skip. I know you're a big Gopher backer.
Oh, yeah, big Gopher fan, so I can appreciate that. They got to throw in some gold, though, if they really want to win me over.
Yes, I know. Eagan wearing their nice cream cuts, and then as we're waiting for our catcher to get all situated, I think it's the telecommunications service that they're getting figured out here, right? That way the pitching coach, which would be Will Bush, can pass along those the key secrets to his catcher, Brandon Lunenberg. All right, here we go. Ready to go. First pitch from Jeleno, and it's a fastball out. And our first pitch time, hey, we're a minute early, Skip. We are a minute early.
Nothing but efficiency here in Eagan.
4:29, right. First pitch. There you go. All right, so 1-0 to Botten. Shortstop, batting from the left side. Fastball grounded. Second base, Black Deer Prado. Easy throw across the diamond over to Illa for the first out. Efficient first 2 pitches there for Jeleno as he's trying to get through the first quickly. Chase Hattlestead will step in, third baseman, number 23. Yeah, nice fastball down right there, Skip, right? Got him kind of chase his pitch low and just grounded it into second for a nice 3-hopper to Black Deer Prado. Big swing and a miss, and that one went all the way back. Hopefully our umpire's all right. Knocked off the mask. Lunenburg's going to do the smart, savvy catcher move and give the ump a little bit of time. Make sure everything is okay. All the faculties are good. He looks fine. He's has a little laugh in him. We've got a veteran crew today, Skip. We've seen these guys over the years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, these guys are definitely no stranger to the baseball diamond in high school.
Now, one thing, Skip, we were talking about before the game was, well, the new amenities here at Eagan, right? I go away for a little bit of time. All of a sudden, we got a big netting in right field, new fence across the outfield, a black monster that's set up in center, and a parking lot. What do you think about that?
It threw me off at my first game as well. I was like, wait a minute, where am I parking here? But, boy, it is nice. I like the improvements, and always fun to see what the high school programs in District 196 are doing to constantly offer better services to the families.
Yep, 1-1 count here to Hattlestead. Fastball in and low. Just misses, so 2-1 to Hattlestead. Let's see here, your defense for the Wildcats. You're going to have Drew Boyd out in left field. You're going to have Oliver Anderson at center, Drew McShane in right field, Aiden Canty at third, Parker Pangier at short. We saw that ground ball to Darwin Blackdeer. Line drive right to Pangier. And Jeleno quickly being efficient here. I think he's up to, what do you got, Skip, 6 pitches?
That's correct.
There
6 pitches, 2 outs. Good start. Little work for the infielders.
Yeah, and you want to keep them active too, right? You don't want to be standing out there watching, 3-2 counts to start the game, right? Simon Albright will step in. He's the right fielder. Darwin Blackdeer Prado is playing second. Brody Illa at first. And as we mentioned, Brandon Lundenborg, the senior, and then Wyatt Jeleno, the sophomore, on the mound. So 2 down here early on, with Albright stepping in. Fastball inside, misses. Pushes him off the plate. Yeah, it's we're almost to May, Skip, and it's just a little odd seeing those face shields already by the teams, right? Not that we didn't see it when the Twins games not that long ago, right? Heater swung through. The long sleeves I can get, but when you got the whole face mask, not face mask, but the face hoodie, whatever you want to call it, right? Then it's a little chilly.
Yeah, I remember.
You got gloves on. You're prepared.
Yeah, kids growing up in Eagan, I remember we used to say it that the coldest sport was always the spring track season.
Correct. Another heater swung on through. Jeleno doing a nice job, pretty much throwing mainly fastballs here early on. Lives in the high 80s. He does have a sinker and a slider, and making his first start of the year. So, like you said, his other 2 outings I think were in relief. Were for Jeleno. 1-2 pitch, another strike 3, and that was a quick, efficient inning for Jeleno. So for the Cougars, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on. We're gonna take it back to the crew.
Let's get him a lead, boys. Let's get him a lead.
Okay, perfect. I didn't know if we were gonna go to commercial break. Okay, all right, thanks, Tim. All right, well, hey, we want to just run down what all the excitement that we've had here this afternoon here. And some of you might have heard it, and some of you might be joining us just now. So what you had today is the Youth and Community Day, Skip. And, they presented a $1,000 check to Soren Agard of the Eagan Legion program. And he's and also Commander John Raymond and Post Financial Officer and Eagan High School teacher Paul Kovac. And that was Legion Post 594. And then they're going to give us a nice little video here too, because we also honored not only the Legion, but we also honored our first responders. And as we can see here, we got Ashley Dane. She's from the Eagan Fire Department on the left-hand side, and then Lieutenant Nate Tennyson from the Eagan Police on the right side. And let's see here. I know that they brought out an Eagan player, but I didn't capture his name. But they both all threw strikes, which is wonderful to see. And then we also had a wonderful rendition of the national anthem brought to you by Ellie Keller. I believe they said she was a senior. So just a wonderful day. You maybe have been to a few of these, Skip. I've been a part of these throughout the years. Eagan always very classy in doing this once a year. Not only honoring the Legion, the veterans and so forth, but also the first responders, and then also bringing the youth involved in it too. So they want to make sure that any kids from 5 on up there in the program are taking in today and just absorbing all the good works of the people in front of them.
Yeah, it really is a great thing that they do. I love the pregame ceremony that they went through, and
Yep.
the pitches were nice. Recognizing the first responders was excellent. I love when you get the youth baseball players involved as well. And
Color guard as well, you know what I mean? It's just you have to take a step back, right? There's a reason that we all are lucky enough to be broadcasting this game and playing this game. So we want to thank those that came before us and put their nation in front of everything else. So, all right, well, thank you, Tim. And hey, we got to make sure that we give our props to our wonderful ETV staff. We got Tim, our director, Josh, our producer, Joe is on audio, and the camera crew, Nick, Ravi, and Rachel. So thank you all for those that are either in the truck or bearing the elements. Leadoff hitter, center fielder, number 11, Oliver Anderson. First pitch swinging to short, scooped up, thrown across the diamond in time, and that was Bodden to Harbaugh. One pitch, one out. Nice job there by the lefty, Marlin.
Yeah, aggressive swinging there in the first pitch.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all.
No.
If it's a hittable pitch, he put it in play and just happened to hit it right at the shortstop. Easy play so far for the Cougars.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like we might have maybe a little pitcher's duel here. Marlin's got a little snap on that first pitch fastball. Lefty delivers off speed in their backdoor curve for a strike. Lunenborg steps in, batting .500 on the year, Skip. Impressive numbers, 606 on base percentage, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs for the senior catcher. Heater, on the knees. Oh, excuse me, I'm a one guy ahead of myself, Skip. There we go. We got Mitchell up. All right, I'm a little ahead of myself. Sorry, I'm a little excited to be back with you.
I'm not gonna fault you. The Lunenburg stats are exciting.
Yes. Ground ball over to second. That's going to be Brill. Cross to Harbaugh in time. Retires Mitchell, the senior. Mitchell with a .303 on base percentage. Now we're getting to Lunenburg, and yes, his numbers are quite impressive. Brandon is to go to Concordia St. Paul, so he's making Coach Butler and myself proud as the pipeline keeps moving from Eagan to Concordia. I believe at the season now, I think they're up to 3 or 4 former Wildcats on the Golden Bears. And first pitch swinging, Lunenburg finds his way to first, and that's probably going to bring out the speedster, Sam Stefanski. I'm calling it, Skip. And, I don't think it's going to take too long, Skip, because Sam Stefanski, their primo base runner, is 10 for 10 on the year in stolen bases.
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm thinking about what's happening next, right? Like, 2 outs, runner on first. He's the designated runner, and 10 for 10, like you said. I'd be shocked if he wasn't going.
But the one thing he might want to see a move or two with the being a lefty on the mound, right? All right, number 4 hitter settles in. This is Drew McShane, and that wild pitch is going to send Stefanski to second. Now he's in scoring position for McShane. What's McShane done on the year, Skip? I'll let you pass that along.
All right, McShane, just got to find him on the list here. Batting .316. He's got a 1 home run, 7 RBI, 5 runs scored, couple walks, 5 strikeouts.
Another pass ball. So a little confusion between Dowzak and Marland here on those first 2 pitches. And Stefanski on 2 pitches goes from first to third. 2 down here, 2-0 count to the junior, Drew McShane. Playing right field today. One guy that Coach Butler and the staff has told me that they've been really impressed with seeing his growth from last year as a sophomore to a junior. I think they said something, he added a crazy number as he pops one deep to right center. Run down, not in time was Connolly. McShane is going to cruise into second with an RBI double, and the Wildcats are on board with a 1-0 lead.
Great piece of hitting there, just hammered that thing to dead center, maybe a little right center. Tough to see from our angle, but you could see as soon as he hit it, he tagged that well.
Yeah, I thought he got it up. The one thing I did notice, so the wind has calmed down. When I got here at about 3 o'clock, I mean, it was howling in from left field. So I thought that when that ball was hit up there, especially with the read that Connolly had at center, I thought that there was a chance that he might make that over-the-shoulder grab. But the wind has calmed down, and obviously the power and strength by McShane and also the heat from Marland adding to it made that easy stand-up double. So Wildcats up 1-0 here early on. Drew Boyd, left fielder, steps in. Drew Boyd, a junior as well. So the Drew and Drew show right now, Skip.
Those pass balls may be playing a factor.
Correct.
allowing the run to score. But, tough to say. Stefanski fast. He might have gotten around from first anyway.
Correct. Right. Well, ground ball over to Brill across the diamond over to Harbaugh. So the Wildcats, they do get 1 on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We'll be back in the top of the second inning.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Wait, use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, there we go. Top of the second. The crew is smooth. You think that this is their 10th game of the season, Skip.
Always the
The
professionals.
ETV crew
ETV
is smooth, man. We like it. Jeleno on the mound. He had a quick inning. How many pitches did he go through that first inning, Skip?
Just 10 pitches, 3 up, 3 down. We'll like to see that.
That was fast. So, and like we talked about, a really efficient day for Illa. Yesterday, only 80 pitches. I think I saw that Will Mitchell, he cruised through his 1 inning of work. I have it written down here. His was pretty efficient, too. I think he was at like 10 or 11 pitches. And this is very important here, Skip, this week because they have 5 games this week. So they played yesterday, played today. I think they're set to play... yesterday, today, I think they're set to play Friday, and then they have a doubleheader when they take on Edina and Cretin-Durham Hall on Saturday at Siebert Field. All right, we are set to go here. Aiden Connolly, center fielder, steps in. Takes that fastball up high. Jeleno on the year. Like you said, Skip, 4 innings pitched, only 1 earned run, and a 1.75 ERA and 5 Ks. So, solid whip, as the kids would say. Heater low. Living at the knees, a little bit low. 2-0 count. And, from last year, it looks like, Jeleno obviously was a freshman last year. Just looks like he naturally added some muscle, maybe even grew an inch or 2, right? He stretched out a little bit from last year.
Yeah, anybody that's had a teenage boy knows that the changes happen a lot from, 8th, 9th, 10th grade, even into their junior year, so
Correct.
not surprised there.
Yeah, and I think I was talking to Parker Pangier's dad. Parker is I don't want to mispronounce it here. Parker's a junior. I think his dad mentioned that he also shot up somewhere between 5 to 6 inches in the office, between last year and this year. So, all right, left-handed hitting. DH Jonathan Harvey settles in. So Connolly reaches on that beanball, or hit by pitch, whatever way you want to pronounce it. Illa will be holding him on at first. Black Deer Prado will be helping on a bunt. Slow roller, Black Deer Prado going to field it up, throw it across the diamond to Illa for the out. But Harvey does get Connolly over to second and now in scoring position. Second baseman is Noah Brill.
Good decision there by Black Deer Prado. Really only had one choice to make, but didn't hesitate. Just went up, and I think as soon as that one was hit, he knew he was going to first.
Well, and I think what you probably saw too, right, is he either just pounded it right off the dirt or it hit that lip, and that big hop slowed it down, right? If it went to hit that lip, maybe it would have been hard enough to get that force out at second. Fastball down the middle for a strike. As you mentioned, Jeleno hits around the high 80s. Sinker and a slider. Unfortunately, a little bit off to the side here, Skip, so we won't try to predict too many of the pitches today, okay? Instead of us when we were right down the middle. I like that.
Right, exactly, yeah.
I like being right down the middle, and I can use my eyes to tell you what we're seeing here. Sun's peeking out. That's a welcome sign. 0-1 pitch. There's the sinker in there for a strike. 0-2. Sophomore, as we mentioned, pitched last year as a freshman. And he's pitched really well out of the bullpen, Coach Butler said. So he's going to have to do a little bit of both this year, Skip. He's going to have to be kind of the go-to, him and Mitchell, kind of the go-to off the bench as a reliever, but then also be able to pitch some spot starts as well. And then Coach Butler mentioned, too, that he couldn't give me any definites as to who's coming out of the bullpen today because it's going to all be dictated by the game. So I felt like that's fair. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I think that's
fair.
a smart way to play, especially like you said, with 5 games this week. You got to be a little strategic there.
Skip, I want the inside information. You know what I mean? I want the inside information.
Maybe
Slider
he thought with
misses
the 2 of us here, he could keep us on our toes. If you were single, by yourself, then he'll throw you a bone.
Right, exactly. 2-2 count, 1 out. Conley on second. He reached on a hit by pitch. He was moved over by Harvey, the designated hitter. And now we have the second baseman, Noah Brill on. Parker Pangier taking a keen eye on Conley. Gelano, low, ball 3. First 3-2 count, first 3-ball count for Gelano here today. Wildcats scored 1 run with that big 2-out double by McShane as he popped that one to deep right center field. I think that was about a 2-hopper to the fence. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, and you could just feel it when he hit it. It's like that. I think that one's going to get over the center fielder's head. He just looked like it had the distance.
Yeah. Fastball is up, so Brill takes a free pass to first. First and second now with 1 out. And Ben Dowzak, the catcher, will step in. Once again, across the outfield, Boyd in left, Anderson in center, McShane in right. Gelano, the sophomore, delivery to Dowzak. Fastball on the knees for a strike.
Outfield looks like they're playing around to the right. So
they're shading heavily, aren't they?
Shading quite a bit.
I mean, we're off to the right side, and look at how far Anderson's playing into the right center gap, right? And there's a big gap between right center and left field, basically. Another fastball. But I think that's what we're going to see, right? Is they're going to throw probably sinker and sliders. They're either going to try to pound into Dowzak or it's going to be sliders away, right? So they want him to either pop up to right center or get that famous, what would that be, 4-6-3 ground ball to Black Deer Prado. Here we go, 0-2 pitch, Gelano. Right down the middle as Dowzak looked at all 3. Little window shopping in that first at-bat. That's okay, checking out the pitcher.
That last one, it's like he was expecting him to waste one because that thing was right down the middle.
I know, I think he was looking like for a slider out or something like spiked in the dirt, right? All right, 2 down. Aiden Haraldson, left fielder, steps in. Conley at second. Brill at first. Brill at first. Yes, Brill at first. 2 down. Wildcats leading 1-0 here. Top slow roller pops up to Pangier. He's going to make that race to the bag as he's going to tag out for the force out. So Cougars, no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left on. We'll be back for the bottom of the second here on ETV.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
I taught for 20 years, but I started forgetting my lectures.
Eventually, he had to quit.
My therapist recommended we go to the doctor.
The early Alzheimer's diagnosis allowed us to take control of the situation.
He's been such a positive force and so loving. Thank you. You're welcome.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Casey Lux joined by Skip Newton here at Wildcat Park for this South Suburban Conference matchup. And we're happy to be here and bring it to you on Eagan TV. Some of you maybe are in the comfy confines of the living room, got it blasted on the TV, right? Maybe a little popcorn, maybe a little favorite beverage. So we're happy to bring it to you, and I also want to thank all the good people at ETV. All right, the heater by Marlin, the lefty, up high. And that's going to be to Aiden Canty, the senior. Actually, I think I'm getting ahead of myself again. I think Canty's a junior. All right, anyways, 1-0 pitch, popped up. And this one's going to go straight back into the track and field. Yes, Canty is a senior. Almost caught myself there. He's been up on varsity for at least 3 years. So, you know, some of these guys, Skip, that we've seen for a while, it's you forget what age they are because they've just been around for so long. Swings through the fastball up high, 1-2 count.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he's not a senior, he must have started when he was an 8th grader because right. I feel like I know that name for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and speaking of, I mean, Lunenburg played towards the end of his 8th grade season. All right, this one might stay in the park and twists around a little bit as Harbaugh gave chase. That wind might have kicked it back a little bit on him. So Aiden Canty will stay alive here on the 1-2 pitch.
That's a tough play for the first baseman, Harbaugh, as he's running away from home plate, away from first base, and we used to see Kent Herbeck of the Twins do that all the time, and he would make those basket catches when he's looking the other way. It's a lot more difficult than it looks.
Marlin's pitch. All right, Canty fighting it off. All right, Skip, we might get one today. All right, we might have to catch one here today, okay? Canty set to play some college baseball at DCTC. Now, the nice thing, Skip, as you may know, Canty, a quite versatile player. He came up playing a second base as he takes a swing and miss. We're going to see Dowzak's throw to first. That's going to get over the head of Harbaugh. It's going to get out to right field, and while Canty is going to get a strikeout double. That's why you hustle them out, right? That's why you hustle them out.
You got to do it.
Don't give up on the play. Canty, though, like I said, yeah, so ball in the dirt. I think if Dowzak would have thrown it right away, he tried to clear himself, right? You know what I mean? I think if he just would have thrown it right away, he could have thrown it to the outside of the base. Maybe there was some confusion with Harbaugh as to which side, inside or out. Anyways, here we are. Canty on second. Brody Illa, the senior, at the plate. Bat and lefty playing first base today. A little lefty-lefty matchup as that curveball slides in for a strike. Back to Canty. As I mentioned, though, came up playing second base for the Wildcats. Now moving over to third base after the longtime third baseman, Theo King, graduated last year. Marlin's pitch, swung on, popped over foul, left over the head of Coach Butler. Give me some Illa stats on the hitting side, not the pitching side.
Yeah, it's a good point. He's batting .353. He's having a really nice season. A .921 on-base percentage plus slugging percentage, so really hitting the ball. He's got a couple of doubles this year, 3 RBI, scored 5 runs, couple of walks with 5 strikeouts.
All right, Marlin tries to get him to chase, and he doesn't. So now it's 1-2. Scoreboard's a little bit behind here, but, it's okay. That's why they got us, Skip. Brody Illa signed his letter of intent, I think, all the way back in the early fall with Minnesota State Mankato. So excited to see how his career goes as he swings through that pitch by Marlin. So 1 down as Marlin gets that strikeout. Bring up Darwin Prado, or Black Deer Prado. There we go, Darwin. Yeah, Darwin Black Deer Prado. New to varsity this season. Wasn't called up at all last season, Skip, but he is a sophomore. So, and I've been seeing his name on the stat sheet at times throughout the season, so I know that he's been able to pop a few as well. Fastball misses out.
That was a big strikeout there for Marlin with a guy on second. Really, 2 strikeouts for the inning, but the first guy reached on the.
Well, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but this could be the rare 4 strikeout inning, Skip. It could happen. Okay.
Not something you see.
No. There's a nice slider on the backside in there for Marlin. Black Deer Prado. Let's see here. Right? What was it? 675? No. 393 on base percentage. Yep. 3 RBIs, 6 runs scored, and 2 stolen bases. 2 for 2. I think primarily holding it down at second base. I thought I've seen him move around the infield, though, at times, too. Marlin's pitch swung through by Black Deer Prado. 1-2.
Yeah, he wants to get the batting average up, just down there still under 200, but the 7 walks helps with that on-base percentage, and of course, when he gets on base, he's been scoring some runs, so
yeah,
get on any way you can.
Well, in his first ever varsity game, he went 2 for 3 with a run, an RBI, a triple, and a stolen base, and that was against Lakeville South. So that's a nice little way to announce your presence with authority, as they say.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah. Come up and make your presence known right away.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right, Canty at second. Marlin's pitch fouled back as Black Deer Prado keeps the at-bat alive. Canty reached on a strikeout and then an errant throw over the top of first baseman Harbaugh as he scooted into second. Lakeville South across the outfield. Aiden Haraldson in left, Aiden Connolly in center, Simon Albright in right. We'll give you their infield here again in a second. Oh, I can now because we took a step out. All right, Chase Hadelstad is at third, Cashton Baden at short, Noah Brill at second, and Hudson Harbaugh at first, with Ben Dowzak doing the dirty work behind the plate. 1-2 pitch by Marlin. That's ripped to center field. Is that going to get legs? Doe. Nice job by Canty of tagging up, and he's going to scoot into third, make himself that much closer on a pass ball of scoring as a nice at-bat from Black Deer Prado. Fouled off a few pitches, got down early, Skip. Oh, okay. All right, Skip.
He left early?
Yes, we got the infamous appeal at second. The infamous appeal at second, and I guess they said that Canty left early. So for the Wildcats, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. We'll be back for the top of the third here at Wildcat Park.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Wildcat Park, Casey Lux joined with Skip Newton here, back together again at Wildcat Park. Excited to bring you more baseball here on Eagan TV. So here we go, Wyatt Jeleno on the mound facing the lefty, and this will be the pitcher, Reed Marlin. Big swing through that sinker by Jeleno. So Jeleno on the mound, the sophomore, as he settles in. Fouled away by Marlin. All right, 0-2 count. Pitcher via pitcher. Skip, mano y mano time.
I don't see this as often. I like this, and I especially like how Jeleno's got ahead 0-2.
Yes. Very efficient start for Wyatt, the sophomore. Swung through, and that was the sinker. Using that sinker well. That thing's dropping today. Back to the top of the order, Cashton Baden, the shortstop. Let's see, ground ball to short. Was that to start off the game? 2 pitches in?
Second base, yes. But first time through the order, nine batters, 3 strikeouts so far for Jeleno. So really good, efficient, again, first time through the order.
Yeah. Yeah, walked a batter, hit a batter, if I remember correctly. A lot of lefties being thrown at Jeleno here today. I think about half of the lineup for Lakeville South hit from the left side, whereas Eagan is a primarily right-handed hitting team. 0-1 count, I think. 1 down, Jeleno, fastball out. And actually, the Cougars did see a little bit of Jeleno, and looks like, via my math, 6 hitters saw him, okay? Pitched 1 inning in that opening loss of the season. Jeleno's pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Eagan did start off their season with a 6-4 loss at Lakeville South. Jeleno pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, both were unearned though. K and a walk. So actually maybe with an error in there, maybe 7 batters faced them. So many of these guys probably saw him, but only 1 time through the lineup. Ooh, a nice piece of hitting there. Fielded quickly by Canty. Throw across the diamond, not in time. Nice play by Canty. So they had a heavy shift on there, Skip. Canty actually, as a third baseman, was playing more around the shortstop position. Had to backhand it and get rid of it quickly. Strong throw on target, but the speed by Botten outbeat it. Here's the replay.
Yeah, if Canty's in his normal spot, that's probably a routine play, right? He can run straight up on it and give a good throw, setting his feet and firing across the diamond. Here, he has to backhand it and make an off-balance throw, which is a great play, unfortunately just not quite quick enough.
Yep. All right, the third baseman batting second in the lineup today, number 23, Chase Hadelstad steps in. What Hadelstad do his first time up, Skip?
He had that soft liner out to the shortstop Pangier.
Okay, there you go. I think first pitch swinging, too, if I remember correctly. There's the sinker in there for a strike. Quickly 0-2 is Jeleno. Botten on first with 1 down here for the Cougars. Wildcats leading 1-0 here in the top of the 3rd. Jeleno takes a peek at Botten. Ooh, nice piece of hit in there as he fought that one off. Hadelstad did. They're not going to run on McShane. They're going to go station to station. But a nice piece of hit in there by Hadelstad. Hadelstad knew that would probably be called strike 3. I think he was just trying to foul it off and was able to muscle that thing out to right for the second hit of the inning.
Yeah, really nice hitting there by Hadelstad. So second time through the order, produces a couple of hits. The first 2 hits of the game for the Cougars.
Yeah.
Now they got a threat with 2 on, just 1 out.
Yep. Going back to that first game of the year, and we'll keep recapping it here. Simon Albright steps in, number 3 hitter, the right fielder. So Jeleno now with the bases a little fuzzy, fouls it off, filled up a little bit here. Going back to that first game, Skip, the Wildcats, they led that game 1-0 going into the bottom of the 6th. And then that's when all this run started happening, okay? Cougars scored 6 in the bottom of the 6th. Wildcats rallied for 3 more in the top of the 7th. I think they even left 2 guys on with 2 outs, ultimately falling 6-4. 0-1 count, the pitch to Albright. Outside to Albright. So a very tight game, first game of the season. And, a few runs happened and a busy 6th inning happened for the Cougars. As we mentioned, the Cougars did start off with 2 straight wins to start their season. 1-1 count here to Albright.
It's tough to know, what the teams are going to be early on in the season, first couple of games. I feel like now, we're midway through.
Correct.
Now you get a really good idea of where these teams are headed and what kind of baseball they play on a daily basis.
Yep, no, absolutely. The Wildcats come in today. This is their 10th game. Lakeville South, this is their 9th game. So starting to get through the heart of the season. Popped and fouled away by Albright. It's 1-2 count. As I mentioned, the Coug almost hit the fire truck. Oh yeah, Yeah, what would you say that the Fire ATV, the Eagan Fire ATV. Okay, well, good. All right, 1-2. Well, that was good that stayed away. All right, keep the insurance claims down. Fastball misses out. 2-2, and then the Cougars won a 6-4 win at Eastview. and that was their first 2 wins of the season. And actually, if you kind of look at it too, Skip, we don't have to get into all of it, but both these teams have kind of mirrored a very similar schedule. The teams that they've played almost in the same order in a sense. They've all kind of faced, very common opponents. Both teams have only played their conference games, no non-conference games yet. 2-2 pitch, 1 out here. Jeleno popped up, and this goes straight back over the top of us. And we keep waiting for that sun to peek out.
I don't think we should hold our breath on that.
No, I don't
think
think
so.
so.
Look good.
I think we just want to make sure that the rain doesn't happen. How about that? All right, Bodden is at second. Hattlestead is at first. Back-to-back hits with 1 out for the Cougars. 2-2 pitch to Albright. Caught him on a check swing for a strikeout. Jeleno with the slider. I'll bring up the number 4 hitter, and that's going to be Aiden Connolly, the center fielder.
Big strikeout there with 2 on and just 1 out. Fooled him on that pitch on the outside, got him to check his swing, but I don't think he checked in time. I think he ruled that he went.
Yeah, and I think that pitch was a strike, regardless, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yep. Remind me what Connolly did here in that, in the second inning. He led off the second, I believe.
Yeah, he was hit by a pitch
there you go.
and ended up getting as far as second base.
Ooh, nice play by Canty. Throws across the diamond to Black. Deer, Prado for the force out. Nice hands by Canty, the soft mitts. And for the Cougars, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. We'll be back in the bottom of the third here on Eagan TV.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
All right, Wildcat Park. Wildcats leading 1-0 going in here to the bottom of the third as Parker Pangier, number 9 hitter, first at bat of today. And on the mound here today is Reed Marland, giving up 2 hits so far. The big hit was a 2-out RBI double by Drew McShane to the right center gap. Parker Pangier, the shortstop, settles in, facing the left-handed throwing Reed Marland. Heater in the first strike. Parker Pangier Jr., 323 on base percentage, 4 runs, 3 RBIs on the season. Wildcats everyday shortstop. In the dirt, nice play, nice block by Dowzak, even with nobody on. Yeah, one thing too, Skip, we mentioned earlier, and maybe we'll see it change as the game goes on, but for the most part, the Cougars are playing the Wildcat hitters straight up, whereas we're seeing a lot of shifting and movement from the Wildcat defense versus the Cougar hitters.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, how the teams do their scouting, right? What are they looking at? What are they thinking?
Yep.
Do they do it specific because they feel like this hitter, we've seen the Wildcat defense, shade a guy, significantly to the opposite field.
Yep.
And that's a different strategy. I kind of like it.
No, me too. I think what's always interesting too, right, is sometimes it's probably tendency over how you're going to pitch a hitter, and sometimes it might be a little bit of, how you feel that hitter hits, or maybe a weak spot, or maybe a hole in their swing, how you're going to attack that hitter, right? So you play the odds a little bit. Pangier falls that away as we have a 2-2 count for the shortstop, junior Parker Pangier.
Pangier late on that swing, but just got enough of it to stay alive.
Marlin settles in, looks to the catcher, Dowzak. Fastball low, just missed the knees. 3-2 count. Yesterday, Wildcats won 8-2 win at home against Prior Lake. Lunenburg with the big solo home run. Drew Boyd had a triple in there, 2 RBIs. And nice at-bat by Parker Pangier. Worked the count full, gets a walk, and flips the lineup back to the top of the order. Oliver Anderson, 1 for 4 yesterday with a run and 2 stolen bases in that 8-2 win. Oliver, Skip, remind everyone what he did his first time up.
He grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning, but Pangier, first 3 ball count.
Right.
For Marlin, yeah. And then he ended up walking him, so nice job by Pangier.
Yeah. All right. Curveball gets in there for a strike to Anderson. Anderson did a real nice job. Came on about middle of the season last year, did Oliver, and really gave the Wildcats a spark, not only in center field, but also with his speed on the bases. As we see Pangier cruises into second for a stolen base. Pangier now 3 for 4 on the season on stolen bases.
And we know Coach Butler, no stranger to being aggressive on the base paths, so this doesn't surprise anybody at all. He's taking a look. It was I'm not sure strike. If it was a hit. I think he swung through it, yeah. So.
And he might have just very well been trying to protect him, right? I mean, maybe it was a hit and run, but he just knew that if it wasn't a pitch he could handle to try to get Parker into second. Marlin's pitch misses. It's a 1-2 count. 1-0 is our score. Wildcats leading. So we watch Brill kind of play with them a little bit at second. Changeup misses out. Across the diamond for the Cougars, you got Hattlestead at third, Bodden at short, Brill at second, Harbaugh at first. Marlin swung through by Anderson for the first out of the inning. How many strikeouts is Marlin up to here, already in the bottom of the third?
That is his third, of course, with one of those strikeouts actually reaching base.
Correct. All right, senior Will Mitchell steps in. Will set to play at Southeastern Community College in Iowa. So 4 of the seniors from the Wildcats already set to play college baseball already going into the season.
When you mentioned the signing day earlier and wanted to just go back to that, I love how the high schools put those together for these kids. It's such a big day for these kids to kind of get that attention. They've worked hard. And they've earned it. Right. And just a nice way for not only themselves and their families and friends, but for the school as well to kind of celebrate the athlete as they get ready to move on to the next chapter in their life.
Yep, 100%. Well said. 1-1 count to the senior DH today, Will Mitchell, also their closer. Also can play some second base when called upon. Marlin's pitch misses in. Mitchell, nice day yesterday at the plate. 1 for 2, 2 runs, a walk, and a stolen base for the senior. Mitchell, like I said, Southeastern Community College in Iowa. Are you familiar with your Southeastern Community College, Skip?
I definitely am not.
No, I'm not either. And, well, you know, I'm not going to pull up my phone to give you the mascot or find the notable alumni, but you know, maybe Will pass that along to us before the next game. Maybe I'll have that ready for the next one that I'm doing on the 13th of May. All right, Marlin looks in, 3-1 count. Pitch up high, just called for a strike. You can tell Mitchell looked back saying, don't do it, don't pull that string.
But he didn't immediately start walking to first, so had the common sense to be respectful of the umpire.
Yeah, he knew it was going to be close, right? All right, 3-2 count. This will be the second 3-2 count of the day for Marlin on the mound. Foul back by Mitchell as he keeps the at-bat alive. Parker Pangier worked his way onto first with a walk, scooted to second on a stolen base. And, well, he's hoping not to be stranded there as he's sitting on second with 1 out here at Wildcat Park. Got a great crowd, even with the chilly temps. Ooh, curveball outside corner, off speed. In there for a strike, sends Mitchell looking back to the dugout. Senior catcher, Brandon Lunenburg, as I mentioned before, set to go to the Concordia St. Paul Golden Bears. Lunenburg yesterday, like we said, solo home run, his second of the year. 2 walks, 2 runs, and a 1-for-2 at the plate for Lunenburg.
They got a base hit in the first inning, and then, of course, Stefanski came in to pinch run and ended up coming around and scoring the lone run of the game so far.
And it looks like Brandon got himself a new bat with that teal. That thing stands out, doesn't it? Kind of matches the uniform a little bit for the Wildcats. All right, Marlin takes a look at Pangier. There's a rip out to left. Pangier getting waved home by Coach Butler. We may have a play at the plate, and Pangier glides in head first underneath the tag of Dowzak. A wonderful throw there, right there, Skip, by Aiden Haraldson from left field. That thing was on the money. He hummed that thing a good, 280 feet.
Yeah, that was a great throw. It was a close play, and you can see it as it's coming in. You're like, okay, this looks like there's going to be a play. Nice job by Lunenburg getting to second on the throw. He likes the head first slide, and he did a nice job of coming to the infield side to avoid the tag.
Yep. And I think if I saw correctly, too, that would have been McShane letting him know where the throw was coming, which side to slide on. Being a good teammate, Sam Stefanski is going to settle in at second. A nice job by Lunenburg of taking second on that throw home, too. So that could be a key play if there's a base hit here by McShane. McShane settles in. He had that RBI double in the first. That was all with 2 outs, too, Skip.
Yeah, and he tagged that one to center field over the center fielder's head. Connolly out there.
Ball in the dirt, scooped up nicely by Dowzak behind the plate. As we mentioned, Stefanski is one of the speedsters in the lineup. He had 2 stolen bases yesterday. And what'd I say? 10 for 10? 10 for 10 on the year, Skip. 10 for 10.
And they're paying attention to him right now. I mean, there's 2 outs. All the baseball rules say he's not going anywhere. Don't steal third with 2 outs, but they're not buying that.
1-1 pitch. Stefanski takes off, picks a good pitch to run on in the dirt as he scoots into second with another stolen base. 11 for 11 on the year for Stefanski. Skip, I was just doing some quick math here. The Wildcats have been thrown out twice all year. How about that? We're not going to say who, but they've been thrown out twice all year. Slow roller to Brill. Brill fields it, bobbles it. Oh! And McShane is going to be awarded first base as Stefanski comes in from third. So there you go, Skip. The aggressive base running by Coach Butler and the Wildcats puts Stefanski in that position with 2 outs to be able to come home on that air.
Yeah, just an unfortunate play there for Brill. I mean, it's
last hop maybe.
He got up on the heel of his glove, and I don't know if he took his eye off it, but that should have been a routine play. That's unfortunate for the Cougars.
Yeah. So 3-0 is our score as Stefanski comes in to score. And Drew McShane now at first with Drew Boyd, the left fielder, at the plate. Slider in there for a strike to Drew Boyd. Drew Boyd yesterday, 2 for 2 with a run, a triple, 2 RBIs, a walk, and a stolen base. And Skip, a partridge in a pear tree.
Thank you. I was thinking it.
You're waiting for it,
took it
right,
right out of my mouth. I love it. Love it.
So the Drew show going back to back here. McShane to Boyd. Give us some Boyd stats here as Marlin gets a new ball.
I was just thinking about that game against Burnsville because that's where Boyd hit his 1 home run of the season to go with his 8 RBI. He scored 6 runs, batting .333.
Yeah.
He has a .975 on-base plus slugging percentage.
As McShane cruises into second. McShane now 4 for 4 on the year in stolen bases. Yeah, no, and like you mentioned, .333, a .419 on base percentage. And, he's got a little bit of everything, right, in his baseball gift basket. A double, a triple, a home run, 8 RBIs, 6 runs, and 6 for 7 stolen bases. Fouled off as Coach Paul Weinberg wasn't really quick to get out of the play, but he knew it wasn't going to get to him.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we didn't give enough of attention to that stat you just read off. They've only been caught 2 times.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a weapon for this Eagan Wildcat baseball team to have that kind of success on the base pass.
Exactly, and have that much speed in the lineup, right? Nice job by Dowzak keeping McShane at second as he's working hard behind the plate. And I think we talked about this last year, and it was something that, when we got to the playoffs, I kept highlighting it too. I mean, their numbers last year was just an outrageous number of like a 93%, success rate, right? Ooh, a big hopper over to Hattelstad across the diamond is going to pull Harbaugh off the base. That's going to get Boyd safe at first on an errant throw. And I believe that would be the third error of the game for the Cougars.
Yeah, the defense is letting Marlin down a little bit. He should have been out of this inning already. Now that's 2 consecutive errors, and all of a sudden the Wildcats threatening with runners on the corners.
Yep, 2 outs. They took advantage, obviously, of one of those on that error at second that brought in Stefanski. So you got McShane at third. There's our first pickoff move. Oh, McShane's going to try to come home on the pickoff attempt. Maybe that was planned, Skip. Who knows? But anyways, well, the Wildcats, they strike for 2 runs on 1 hit, 2 errors, and 1 left on. All right, well, after 3 complete, it's 3-0 Wildcats. We'll be back for the top of the 4th inning on Eagan TV.
Call 911 for all emergencies. We're here to assist with non-emergency calls as well. You can call us at 651-322-2323, or you can submit an online request. The same 911 dispatchers who answer the phone calls also answer online requests 24/7.
3322 for a disturbance noise complaint.
The online request supports language translation and may be an ideal option for those with communication barriers. Your non-emergency call may be answered by a virtual assistant. There are many common requests that the virtual assistant can help you with, allowing you to avoid hold times during peak volume hours. We're still here for you for non-emergencies. In an emergency, call if you can, text if you can't.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Welcome back, Wildcat Park. Wildcats leading the Lakeville South Cougars 3-0 as the sun keeps wanting to come out and play here for the rest of the day. Skip, Casey Lux, joined by Skip Newton. We got our left-handed hitting DH, Jonathan Harvey, settling in against the sophomore, Wyatt Jeleno. Harvey, Skip, what did we see from Harvey his first at-bat?
In the second inning, he grounded out to the second baseman.
Okay.
And he was first pitch swinging then as well.
All right. Very well. Harvey DHing for the first baseman, Hudson Harbaugh. Jeleno was cruising through the game. He had a little bit of busy base runners last inning, but those first 2 innings was quite efficient. Oh, no, take that back. Well, he hit by pitch and a walk in the second, if I remember correctly. But he did give up his first 2 hits in the third.
He had those 2, but it was a low pitch count. I mean, only 24 pitches in the first 2 innings. He's up to 42 through the third. So, yeah, a very efficient game so far.
Yep, there you go. All right, pitching with the lead is what all coaches want you to do as we watch Harvey foul that one off. Now, here's one thing, Skip. I'm kind of liking this, all right? We got an old school bat from Harvey here. You can barely see any logos or writing on it. Now, just close your eyes, take yourself back to the late 70s, early 80s, like the Adirondack style, right? Where there's just a little bit of a logo, just a little bit of writing on it. Just basically a silver slugger up there.
There you go.
And he's flashing that wand as he keeps fouling it away out to left side as Jeleno keeps working that sinker to the outside corner. Jeleno, a sophomore, last year threw a lot. He was back and forth between a starter and a reliever. He's gained some miles per hour as Lunenburg's calling for this one up high. And he gets it up high as, well, Harvey was smart enough to hold off 2-2 counts.
I like that. He had gone in a couple of times
Yeah.
with a sinker. Let's see if he can get him on the high heater.
Correct.
It's a nice pitch when you're up 1-2 in the count.
He throws high 80s, so I mean, you might as well use it, right? We got some of the youth coming in here who want to get on TV in the background. I like it. Check swing tipped. Oh, so no check swing, but they're going to call strike 3 on a tip right there. Foul tip as the Wildcats are going to throw it around the bases, excuse me. Yeah, here you go, Skip. Oh yeah, and he actually might have broken his wrist on that too, but I did hear the ping of it. So.
Yeah, the home plate umpire pointed right
Correct.
away as if to say there was contact.
Correct. So Jeleno gets another strikeout. Skip, what are we up to on the OK count?
That is his 5th of the game so far.
High hopper up the middle as Black Deer Prado tried to get through it. That ball gets past Oliver, but he quickly regains it, keeping Brill at first. So Brill now, I think, he fielded fielder's choices last time, right?
Actually, Brill walked.
There you go. So Brill has been on twice now.
Yep,
Okay,
on
there you
twice.
go.
A really nice job out in center field there, hustling back and keeping Brill at first base.
And, Black Deer Prado did a nice job of trying to chase that ball up the middle, but even if he gets to it with that big hop, you name a major league second baseman, I don't think you're going to make that play over that throw. Fastball inside for a strike, and that's to the catcher, Ben Dowzak. 0-1, 1 down. You said Jeleno 4 Ks, is that right?
I've got 5 now
5 Ks,
for the one this inning, and one of them was Dowzak. He struck out looking back in the second.
Hey, there you go. Look we just set that up perfectly. Check swing, Lemberg going to throw it out. It's going to trickle out to right. Instead, Brill's going to stay at first since he had to slide back into first.
Wildcats got a little bit of a break there as he was diving back in, so he couldn't get up and run, and then there was actually contact between him and the first baseman, Illa, but fortunately, he wasn't trying to advance.
Correct.
So.
I think that's the thing. It wasn't necessarily, you didn't have to really worry about a judgment call because he wasn't trying to get up and move, and I don't think Illa was trying to slow him down or impede him, right? Fastball outside corner just misses 2-1.
Oh, that's a nice pitch.
That's a nice pitch. Yep, absolutely. New pitching coach this year for the Wildcats, Will Bush. Will Bush, the new pitching coach for the Wildcats. Also Soren Agard. Also was, as he moves kind of back and forth between JV as well as varsity. It might be just solely varsity. Do you remember was Soren on the bench last game you called?
That name does not sound familiar.
Sure.
So I think he was added since that home game a couple of weeks ago.
All right, 3-1 count. Jeleno to the catcher, Dowzak. Hot shot, one hop. Black Deer Prado to Pangier across the diamond. To Illa. 4, 6, 3. Double play to end the inning. No runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on. Score still, Wildcats 3 over the Cougars. We'll be back top of the 5th, bottom of the 4th, Skip, here on Eagan TV.
(911) What's the address of the emergency?
When you call 911, we'll guide you through it. Just try to stay calm and focused and answer the call taker's questions. The first and most important information that we ask is the address and location of the emergency. From there, the questions being asked will depend on the emergency being reported. All the information you provide ensures that you get the right help as soon as possible.
At Dakota 911, the role of call taking and dispatching is split. While the call taker is speaking with you, their partner is already dispatching emergency services to the location needed.
Dakota 911 has tools to recognize and support communications in multiple languages. An interpreter may be brought on the line to help support the call.
Listen carefully and I'll tell you how to do chest compressions.
If you have a medical emergency, Dakota 911 provides pre-arrival instructions, such as CPR, until responders can get on the scene and take over. Seconds save lives, so the sooner we can intervene and provide care, the greater the outcome.
In an emergency, call if you can, text if you can't.
Wildcat Park for the South Suburban Conference matchup. 2-6 Lakeville South Cougars taking on the 5-4 Eagan Wildcats. And while the Wildcats leading here, going into the bottom of the fourth, 3-0, and we're going to see the senior, Eagan Canty, third baseman, settles in. 273 on base percentage, 3 runs scored on the season. And well, Marlin's throwing a solid game here, Skip. Really only giving up those 3 hits. As Canty gets into one, but Conley's got a good beat on it. First pitch swinging, fly ball caught by Conley, the center fielder.
When he first hit that, I thought it had a chance because it sure sounded good. There was some pop off the bat, but it just hung up nicely, and you could kind of tell when you looked out at Connolly, he was settling under it very comfortably.
Yeah, off the bat, but once it kind of reached its apex, you knew it was just going to be a little bit too high. It wasn't driven enough to get to the gap to get past Conley and Haroldson. Brody Illa Sr. settles in. He threw yesterday, 6 innings of work, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks, 1 walk, only on 80 pitches. As Marlin misses outside, 1-1 is our count. When he's not pitching, well, Brody's playing first base, also has some experience out in right field as well. 1-1 pitch by Marlin to Illa. Off speed, misses outside. What's Illa doing on the year for hitting here?
Illa comes into this game batting .353. He has a .450 on base percentage. Couple of doubles, 3 RBI, 5 runs scored, 5 strikeouts, walked a couple of times. So really having a nice season at the plate.
No,
finds
absolutely.
himself ahead here, 3-1 in the count.
Ooh, fastball. Illa thought that was a little in and a little low.
He did strike out in the second inning, so looking to put the ball in play for the first time this game.
All right, Marlin's payoff pitch, 3-2, 1 out. Popped and popped away over press box into the hot dog stand almost. Watch out for those little doggies. Keep them rolling on that grill. 3-2, Marlin. Lefty-lefty matchup in the dirt. Illa coaxes a walk. Darwin, Black Deer Prado will step in. Sophomore, second baseman.
Is number 27, your second baseman, Darwin Black Deer Prado.
Prado, what's he done so far today, Skip?
Well, he hit that fly ball to center field, and that was the one where Canty was trying to advance to third, tagging up, and he left just a little early, and they did the appeal and ended up being a double play.
Yep. It was a good at bat, too, by Black Deer Prado. He fouled off a few pitches, got down in the count, and then muscled that one out to center. And, you know, when that was hit, too, Skip, it was kind of that in-between ball to Conley. Conley was coming in hard on it. That ball never really got down. It stayed up. And actually, Conley had to kind of reach up, almost semi-jump, and made the catch. And I think that's what maybe threw Canty off a little bit. Marlin, curveball in there for a strike to Black Deer Prado. Illa at first, 1 out. Let's see, Illa on the year, has he got his legs moving? Not yet, okay? They haven't sent him yet. All right, Skip, we'll see. Marlin's gonna throw over. And that's really only the second time that we've seen Marlin throw over, which is kind of interesting because of you know how much Eagan does like to be aggressive on the base paths.
And especially with a left-handed pitcher, you'd think he might take advantage of that.
But you know, you also sometimes, as you know too, you don't want to show it off too often, right? All right, Illa's going to go for his first stolen base of the year, and he's going to get it. And he's getting a lot of love from the fellas in the dugout, Skip, as they're excited for Illa. Illa even has a little bit of a grin on his face, showing off the speed.
Did get a nice jump on that pitch. You can look, he's going the whole way. He didn't look back to the pitch. That was a straight steal.
1-2 pitch. Black Deer Prado rips it to right. Just foul. Just foul.
If this were a soccer match, I'd say that's a bit unlucky.
Yep.
Because he tagged that one pretty nicely.
Right. Went with the pitch. It's hard to see from our angle, but I would say that, I don't know, maybe a foot or so foul, maybe even a little less. All right, 1-2 is our count. It's 1 out here as Marlin, the lefty, start of the game for the Cougars, getting settled. Illa now on second. And this pitch to Black Deer Prado. Ripped to left center. That's going to get down. Illa slowed down for a second. We may have a play at the plate, and we don't. Black Deer Prado with a big double out to the gap. So interesting there. I don't know if there maybe was a little confusion between Illa and Coach Butler, but you saw Illa kind of slow down even before he got to third. And then I think Coach Butler was saying, I think you need to reward Black Deer Prado with an RBI there because he put that thing out in left center nicely.
Oh, absolutely an RBI. I wonder if Illa was trying to goat the throw home to make sure that Black Deer Prado got to second. I don't know, maybe a...
Very well, could have. And or maybe even too, maybe even shuffled his feet, or maybe thought he was going to trip up a little bit too. So, all right, Parker Pangier, number 9 hitter, junior, shortstop, settles in. Pangier had a nice at bat. It was the first at bat of the day that Marlin went to a 3-ball count, and he coaxed a walk out of him as he takes a changeup on the outside corner for a strike. Pangier, 323 on base percentage. Now he's 3 for 4 on stolen bases, 4 runs, 3 RBIs. Ball in the dirt. Dowzak's done a nice job of keeping the ball in front of him. I think, those 2 pass balls that we saw when Stefanski went from first to third on 2, to me that seemed more of maybe getting crossed up on the pitch as opposed to him not receiving it.
Right, because he's handled tough pitches really well, almost like it wasn't a big deal.
Right.
He just, there was a couple in the dirt where he didn't even get down to block it. He just fielded it and threw it back out there. Yeah.
No, he's done a nice job behind the dish. And Marlin's done a nice job on the plate, pitching as well. I think probably of the 4 runs, I think 2 of them would be considered unearned. So it could be even a tighter game than what it is. 2-2 pitch by Marlin to Pangier. Slow roller. Bodden's got to come quick with it. He does. Gets it over to Harbaugh. Unable to get it. Throw comes home. Black Deer Prado slides in safe, and that's going to send Pangier to second. So the Wildcats taking advantage of an infield hit and then an errant throw to add a 5th run here. So I would give that a base hit on the hit, the slow roller. I think Pangier might have beaten that out. And then,
I agree.
And then an error on the throw home. And it's hard to, it's hard to blame Harbaugh. I mean, I see what he was doing there. It was a tough hop. He blocked it. He was trying to quickly get rid of it because all of a sudden they're going, he's coming home. And, that throw kind of skipped on him and got past Dowzak.
Yeah, and you're down, at the time, down 4 runs. You haven't put a whole lot of threats, on base runners on hitting-wise. You need to try and, cut that run off at home. I mean, it was a good decision to come home. Just unfortunately for him, a throw that got away.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, too, I think you have to point out is that's just really good base running by Black Deer Prado, right? He on the contact, obviously he was taking off for third, got a big round on it. Once he saw that ball go in the dirt, if it wasn't going to be scooped up clean, he was going to keep digging and potentially come home anyways, right? Yeah, almost as if he's anticipating that it's going to go to the fence or so forth. Right?
Exactly. We talked about it earlier, singing the praises of Butler's Wildcats on the base pass, and of course then a guy promptly got thrown out at home. Right. Right after that we finished the sentence. But again, we're seeing this manifest itself here again, where it's not just aggressive base running, but the anticipation. There's no hesitation in trying to get that extra base, and you're forcing the defense to make a play, and until they prove that they can, they're just going to keep doing it, and it's a really good strategy. It's paying off for the Wildcats.
Yep, Parker Pangier at second, 1 out here for the Cougars as the leadoff hitter Oliver Anderson at the plate. Center fielder is Anderson. Anderson, if I remember correctly, and I haven't seen these guys all year, so I'm still trying to get everything memorized. The senior, yes, the senior. And he gets into one deep to left, off the green monster. Pangier is going to jog in, and a stand-up double for the senior, Oliver Anderson. took that off-speed pitch and just launched it. What do you say, Skip? About 10 feet away from a home run, maybe 15?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That was definitely a good 2/3 to 3/4 up the Green Monster in left center field. A really nice poke. You got a hold of that one.
So, Anderson and Pangier trade places as senior DH Will Mitchell steps to the plate. Wildcats having a big inning here, now up 6-0. Still one out. And that was the leadoff hitter, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, the fly ball out to center field.
Yeah, by Canty, right? Who at the time, we thought that thing was tagged pretty well. Remember when we thought that one was tagged pretty well, that Conley ran down.
Yeah, so the Wildcats, starting to get better contact. Their timing is there, and it feels like that the runner goes. It feels like it coincides with Marlon maybe struggling with his accuracy.
Yeah, his command a little bit.
Coming in. Yeah, the command is just off. We saw high command the first 2 innings, but things have started to falter in the third, now the fourth.
Yeah, got a little action in the Cougars bullpen as fastball misses up to Mitchell. Trying to see if I can catch a number. Yes, we have the DH, Jonathan Harvey, getting loose. 3-0 pitch to Mitchell. It's going to be ball 4. With that stolen base for Anderson, he is now 12 of 13 on the season. So runners on the corner, still only one out. 6-0 our score. Wildcats, I have them for 5 hits. You have them for 5 hits as well. Scoreboard does too. I just want to make sure that both you and I and the scoreboard are all in unison.
I have 3 hits this inning, so yeah. I have 6.
Oh, you have 6? Okay. Yeah, but I might have missed. I think I missed the 1 hit this inning. Yep.
What do we got?
I don't know. He started it. So he started the windup, but I don't know if either Lunenburg wasn't fully in the batter's box or if home plate umpire didn't point to him yet. It looks like they maybe gave him the benefit of the doubt, much to the chagrin of Coach Butler. Big swing by Lunenburg, as he was looking for a 3-run blast on that swing.
Yeah, Butler was walking away and had kind of a funny look on his face, like I don't agree. I'm not going to make a stink about it. Yeah. I'm also up 6 runs.
Correct.
I mean, it kind of deal where if this were maybe a
tighter game,
a tight game, it might have been a little more of a discussion.
Lunenburg swings through that curveball from Marland. As I mentioned, Harvey, the DH, getting loose for the Cougars. No action in the bullpen for the Wildcats. We are in the bottom of the 4th. Wildcats putting up 3 hits this inning, taking on 3 runs, and also 2 errors by the Cougars. As Lunenburg swings through that off speed, but Mitchell steals second. So 2 down now. Runners at second and third. Marlon, if he wishes, might go back to the windup, and he's going to. And for Will Mitchell, well, hey, he's 7 for 7 now on stolen bases. And Drew McShane steps in. Curveball up high for a strike. Drops into the zone. McShane with that RBI double. What else has he done here today, Skip?
Had that RBI double, then he reached on an error, stole a base, but then was caught stealing when he tried to come home on that
Correct.
Throw to first.
Yep, you're right. There you go. Shane, a junior, as I mentioned, really the offseason work that he put in really added to his miles per hour on all of his pitches. Marlon tries to get on the outside corner, just misses. So 1-2.
Nice pitch when you're up 0-2 in the count. See if you can't paint the black.
McShane has a home run, 7 RBIs, 316 and 364 on base coming into today. 316 average, that is 3 doubles. So he added his 4th double on the season, up to 8 RBIs on the season. 4 for 4 on stolen bases. Maybe technically 4 for 5 because he was throwing it at home. That one he gets under. Once again over the top of us. I don't know, Skip. I think one of us might have a metal rod in our head because that baseball looks like it wants to just just trickle over this backstop into our expensive equipment area.
Don't worry, Eagan TV crew, we would protect the equipment.
We would. Swings through that curveball. Dowzak's throw to first in time to Harbaugh, and the Cougars get out of the inning. So for the Wildcats, they get 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on. After 4 complete, 6-0, here's our score at Wildcat Park. Back to the top of the 5th inning here on Eagan TV.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. Those 9 months were also 273 days of planning. What about your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. And let's not forget those barbecues you plan in detail for your family and your more vegetarian by the day best friends. That surprise party for your parents' golden anniversary? You get the golden planning. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
All right, top of the 5th inning, Casey Lux joined by my color man, Skip Newton, as we watch sophomore Wyatt Jeleno get loose. Now, as you know, Skip, the big thing here for Wyatt Jeleno is after sitting in the dugout for quite a while, is hopefully to get in the groove, throwing strikes early and often with the 6-0 lead.
Yeah, through those 4 innings, he's only thrown 54 pitches. So what the Wildcats really need to see here is more of that, right?
Yep.
Like you said, just throw strikes. You're up 6-0. Keep your fielders fresh out there.
Exactly. And fastball misses in. It's this Aiden Haraldson, the left fielder. Well, I asked Coach Butler a few questions. One of them was the outlook for the group this season, or the players' expectation. And, well, we'll give you that answer here after this pitch. A little tease here, Skip. 1-0 pitch to Haraldson, swung through. And, well, this group, Coach Butler mentioned, this group's been together a long time, a lot of experience. As we mentioned, when I was looking at their roster, there's only a few names, maybe 2 or 3 names that weren't on varsity last year. So this is a seasoned squad. 1-1 count here by Jeleno to Haraldson. Nice sinker in there for a strike. And, well, he also said that they do expect to compete for the section championship. And, well, try to punch their ticket to state out of a very, very tough section.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, though.
Nope.
We've seen Butler's Wildcats just narrowly miss winning the section at least a couple of times.
I think it's 2 times in the last 4 or 5 years, maybe even after COVID. So maybe 2 times they've been in the section championship game. I think twice in the last maybe 4 years. I think 21, and then either last year or the year prior. There's a fastball that misses up. 3-2 is the count. So Jeleno trying to stay away from a leadoff walk to maybe spark a rally by the Cougars. I think I also saw, obviously there's always numerous different rankings out there at the beginning of the year, Skip. I think they saw one where they had the Wildcats preseason, maybe 13 to 15th or so in 4A. As Haraldson does get that leadoff walk, bringing up the pitcher, Reed Marland. What's Marlin here done so far from the left side?
He's only been up once back in the 3rd, and he struck out one of 5 strikeouts for Jeleno, and Wildcats looking for another double play. They had a tailor-made one to end the inning previously.
Hot shot by Marlin past the diving Black Deer Prado as Anderson gets it quickly and hustles it back into Pangier. First pitch swinging. And, well, Marlin maybe took a little aggression out on that fastball there, Skip.
Yeah, he definitely timed that one. He crushed that thing to center.
Yeah, he tattooed that one nicely. A nice line drive by the left-handed hitting, left-handed pitching Marlin. And we might see our first action in the bullpen as well. So that's going to roll the lineup back to the top of the lineup. It's Cashton Bodden, the shortstop, also hitting from the left-hand side. First pitch swinging. Two-hopper to Canty. Canty over to Black Deer Prado to get the lead runner at second. Nice job by the Wildcats of getting that force out. I thought it was going to be a closer play at second than what it was there, Skip. I thought at first maybe Canty's only play was to go across the diamond for the out at first.
Yeah, I did a nice job of reading that. You know, good communication in the infield and keeping the double play intact, right? I mean, there's still just one out, but now runners on the corners instead of runners on second and third.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So number 2 hitter is Chase Hattlestead. You're going to have Haraldson now at third as he reached on a walk, and Bodden at first. Bodden with a big lead. We'll see if he's going to take off. Laced out to left. First pitch swinging down the line. That's going to bring in one, and we're going to send Bodden all the way from first, and he's going to stand up. First pitch swinging by Hattlestead, 2 RBIs, and the Cougars are on the board with their first 2 runs here at the top of the 5th. Well, maybe they're catching on a little bit to Gelano here, right? Both the hits this inning on the first pitch of the at-bat.
Yeah, and the thing that I noticed there is the long run for the Wildcats left fielder, Boyd. I mean, he was way over.
Shaded, yeah.
Yeah, shaded towards left center. So with that ball going right down the line, I mean, it was a guaranteed, stand-up double, but a pretty easy clear of the bases with the guy on first and third. You knew that runner was scoring easily from first.
So Nolan Lamore will step in, and he's going to pinch hit here. And he hits a grounder to Black Deer Prado, scoops it up, throws over to Illa for the second out. So Nolan Lamore hit there for Albright.
Up next, center fielder, number 12, Aiden Connolly.
So Aiden Connolly, center fielder, will step in, looking to do his best to make sure that he doesn't keep Hattlestead at third. Yeah, and I noticed that too, Skip. On that base hit, that double down the line by Hattlestead as we watched the pitch from Gelano. I was just I was watching the play, but also was keeping an eye on their third base coach. And I felt like Bodden hadn't even gotten to second yet, and he was already rounding him home. Because he knew how far Boyd was going to have to go from being not only shaded, but having to go all the way over to the fence down the line in foul territory to go get that ball.
Yeah, it was just a great hit down the line, knocking in 2 runs, something that the Cougars definitely needed. Still find themselves down 4. They'd really like to get this runner home from third if they can.
Yep. Gelano's pitch, high bouncer. Canty comes in on it. Double pump, strong throw, not in time. I don't know if Canty did get a grip on that ball or if he thought he had more time than he did, as that's going to be, I believe, an infield hit for Connolly. So here's the play, Skip. The tough part might have been, I don't think he got a grip on it. He didn't pad his glove. He just didn't get a grip on it. I think if he would have charged it, right, came and got that, then I think he would have had plenty of time to get rid of it. So third run comes in. That was Hattlestead.
And you're giving that one a
I'm going to give that a hit.
Okay.
I think they're giving it a hit on the board. So that'd be the third hit of the inning for the Cougars. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me do a quick little tally here.
Yeah, because Marlin, Hattlestead, and now Conley. So this is Harvey, the DH, who is also getting loose in the bullpen. And he's hitting for Harbaugh, the first baseman. So just like that, Skip, game's gotten a little tighter. It was 6-0 Wildcats as they put up 1 in the bottom of the first, 2 in the bottom of the third, and 3 in the bottom of the fourth. But the Cougars coming back with 3 here in the top of the 5th inning. Sinker misses low, 1-1 is the count. Gelano still on the mound. I'm taking a peek here. Who's warming up? And that looks like Tristan Olson. Yes, getting loose. 2-1 count. Gelano to the DH Harvey. Hit out to left. Boyd's got a beat on it. And underneath it for the third out. So the Cougars follow up with 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Our score is 6-3. We will be back here for the bottom of the 5th on Eagan TV.
Hey, we should volunteer for this.
I wish I had time.
Scrolling all day, time can disappear. Wanna make it count, why not volunteer?
Posting pics of your food, that takes up time. Maybe just eat me, I don't really mind.
Time, you've got time. As your reflection, it's my duty to say.
Time, I've got time.
All my pics are the same.
I am some eggs.
10 hours a week deciding where to go eat.
Well, where do you want to eat? Maybe let's not go out to eat.
You paint your walls from cream to white, then from white to cream, then back to white.
Time, you've got time to binge all of season 9, though it got so bad.
Time, you've got time. We're gonna grow back and be the same brows you had.
Time, you got time.
Listen to my plea as I harmonize.
Time, you've got time.
Zooba-doo-bop, wow.
Just a few hours to keep families from harm. Help us end home fires with Sound the Alarm. Volunteer for a day to install free smoke alarms in your community.
All right, Wildcat Park, April 29th, and it's chilly with windy and sun. And I don't know, that's a weird combination to talk about there, Skip. But we do have a new pitcher. It'll be the DH, Jonathan Harvey. So they're dropping the DH. And it looks like also, Skip, that we have a new first baseman as well, Ryan Van Putten. Ryan Van Putten now playing first base for the Cougars. So Marlin's day is done as he went 4 innings. Is that correct there, Skip?
Yeah, he gave up 6 runs, and I think we recorded 4 of those being earned.
Okay.
6 hits, 6 strikeouts, and I believe a couple of walks only, so not too bad in the walk department there.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I did like his stuff. I thought he threw well. He had a lot of good command. I was let down, what was that, in the 2nd inning, I believe, with some errors. And so, I mean, that game, it could have been even a lesser run total and maybe less pitches thrown. Maybe he is able to find a way to squeeze himself into the 5th or 6th inning. But anyhow, we're going to have, for the Wildcats, Drew Boyd, the left fielder, step in. First pitch swinging, popped up high. This is going to go out to Connolly. He's going to have a long chase in, but the wind will keep it up. And, well, 1 pitch for Harvey, 1 out for the Cougars. And the Cougars have the nice advantage of going lefty Marlin back to another lefty in Harvey. Aiden Canty steps in, the senior, set to play baseball next year at DCTC, third baseman. 6-3 is our score. Wildcats leading. Fastball down the middle for a strike.
I like the aggressive swinging. A little bit of that might be the fact that it's a chilly wind despite the sun coming out.
Just double checking. I want to make sure that Marlin didn't go out to the field, but his day's done. Fouled away. Excuse me, fouled away. So Harvey doing a nice job. 3 pitches, 3 strikes here for the Cougars. Keeping things moving. Wants to get the bats back in the dugout as they heated up for 3 runs here in the top of the 5th. Here's the 0-2 pitch by Harvey. Right on it was Canty. Looks like Harvey's primarily trying to get the fastball established here early on, Skip, but then again, he's only thrown 4 pitches and they've all been strikes. 1 out, Canty at the plate. Harvey to his catcher, Dowzak. Hot shot in the gap for a single between short and third for Canty as he reaches first.
Canty timing those fastballs well. Finally got one and found the hole in the infield.
Yeah. Brodiella, the senior, first baseman, set to play next year at Minnesota State. Mankato, Canty. Well, we'll see if Canty gets a little steal sign. He's yet to steal a bag this year.
Aiden could steal a base.
Yeah,
Canty?
Absolutely. Canty, there you go. I like it. I knew there was going to be a play a word. Can't he or can he? As Illa swings through that first strike. So Harvey pounding the zone though, right? 6 pitches, all strikes. Canty, the one that hit the base hit though between short and third.
Illa looking to put the ball in play for the first time. He struck out and walked, stole a base.
Canty, safe. Nice throw by Dowzak. Looked like the throw beat him, but looks also like Canty slid into the backside to the center field side of second base. What do you see
There's
there,
a close play, just a little bit to the third base side, and that was enough for him to get in there. I think if that one's on the base,
correct,
he can get that tag down.
Yeah. Ball beat him, and then, well, Bodden had to reach, back to the center field side to put on that tag. All right, so 2-1 now our count to Brody Illa. Playing first base, the senior Aiden Canty at second. Wildcats leading 6-3. Bodden keeping an eye on him at short. Harvey back to Dowzak, fouled away by Illa. Once again, a wonderful crowd here today. And as we mentioned earlier, we'll mention it again. Something that Eagan does all class. Yearly, they do a home game. It's their Youth and Community Day, honoring Ashley Dane threw out the first pitch from the Eagan Fire Department. Lieutenant Nate Tennyson from the Eagan Police Department also threw out a first pitch. And then they had an Eagan Wildcat Youth throw out a first pitch as well. 2-2 pitch by Harvey, curveball misses. Also, we had the American Legion Post 594 presentation of colors. Wonderful national anthem presented by Ellie Keller. And also a $1,000 check to Soren Agard of the Eagan Legion program as well. Illa fouls that one away.
Good at bat here for Illa, working the count full, fouling off a pitch, staying alive. Again, looking to put a ball in play, see if he can't get that run home, get one back here for the Wildcats.
Plenty of first responders here today, support each other, support Eagan baseball, supporting Lakeville South for that matter. Outside corner, strike 3 as Illa thought that was ball 4. Already chucked the bat to the dugout and is rung up by the home plate umpire on a low outside, strike 3. So Harvey gets his first strikeout, and now Darwin Black Deer Prado.
Yeah, the look on his face, he looks back and
yeah.
All right,
I thought he had that one. All right, Darwin settles in. Fastball in there for a strike by Harvey. Harvey just pounding the strike zone here for the Cougars. Canty on second. Base hit out to left, and then stole second for his first stolen base of the season.
RBI single last inning for Darwin.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And then if I remember correctly too, smart base runner as he took second, right? Yeah, he took second on the throw home. All right, 0-2 count to the sophomore, Black Deer Prado. 2 outs. Harvey, lefty, started the game as a DH, now on the mound. Inside, on the knees, strike 3. All right, well, for the Wildcats, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Our score is 6-3 after 5 complete. We'll be back for the top of the 6 here on Eagan TV.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction,
And we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
6-3 is our score here at Wildcat Park. South Suburban Conference matchup. Casey Lux joined by Skip Newton. We got Wyatt Jeleno, the sophomore, still on the mound as he trots out for the 6th inning. They were warming up. Where was it? Tristan Olsen. So we'll see if that was either if he's next in relief, Skip, or maybe he was just getting a bullpen in. But more than likely, probably next in relief.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what they were going to do there, what Butler's going to decide, but I wonder, it was a fairly quick inning in the bottom of the 5th, hitting-wise for the Wildcats, so maybe that kept Jeleno warm. They're like, oh, let's put him out there for the 6th. He has, still a fairly low pitch count, just 71 through those 5 innings.
So, yeah, still 71. As we mentioned, Brody Illa, the 8-2 win yesterday against Prior Lake, with 6 innings, only threw 80 pitches. No substitutes yet for the Wildcats, as we see Jeleno's fastball in there for strike. Batting here for Lakeville South, the Cougars, the second baseman is Noah Brill, who's been on base a few times, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you're right. He's 1 for 1 officially with a walk. Has not scored any runs, but been on base both times.
0-2 pitch, Jeleno. Grounder off the glove, but big, nice candy hop to Black Deer Prado as he flips that over to Illa for the first out of the inning. It looked like that might have caught Jeleno's glove a little bit, and he might have slowed it down and also put some spin on it as well.
Yeah, I put 1-4-3 on that play.
There you go, 1-4-3. I like it. Give him the assist, right? Okay, so we got a pinch hitter here. We'll see if he goes out to the field. Justin Rother will step in, batting in the place of the catcher, Ben Dowzak. First pitch swinging, base hit to right. Nice job by Rother coming in ready to go.
Rother with a single. Left fielder number 25, Eagan.
Left fielder's Aiden Haraldson as he's going to come to the plate. Jeleno still out there. And looks like Olsen's going to get loose once again in the pen. And we're also going to get a pinch runner, which would be Tyler Wild. Now that's a great name after a night like last night. Tyler Wild.
There you go.
Right? Gotta be feeling good.
Yeah,
gotta be feeling good after that win for the Wild.
A great game for the Wild. They really got to wrap this sucker up tomorrow.
Great game for Tyler. Great game
Yes.
for Tyler. Yeah, they do have to wrap this up tomorrow. It could be a wild night in Minneapolis and St. Paul tomorrow night if both teams can get a Game 6 win. I have a feeling a few people might not go to work on Friday morning.
Unfortunate game, Game 4 victory for the Timberwolves, losing not one but 2 key players to injury. Just brutal.
But they're going to have a chance tomorrow to try to wrap it up, which they need to do at home as opposed to go to Game 7. Popped up and out as we're watching Aiden Haraldson, the left fielder. As we mentioned, Tyler Wild came in to pinch run for Rother. Rother first pitch swinging as he was hit for Dowzak. Base hit to right field. Interesting thing too, Skip, is the hits are pretty much even across the board. I know that you and I maybe have been making little decisions here and there, so maybe it might not match up exactly with what the Wildcat scoreboard looks like, but I have 7 for the Wildcats, and then I have 7 for the Cougars.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I have as well.
Nice sinker as he took something off of it, and Haraldson swings right through it. Second out of the inning. And that is not Reed Marlin, that is number 17. Ryan Van Putten, who came in to play first base for Hudson Harbaugh. After they made the switch, they dropped the DH. Harvey came in to pitch, and Van Putten now playing first base and hitting. Wild at first, sinker in there for a strike. Nice thing what you notice with Jeleno too is he's taking something off that pitch here, right? He's slowing it down. I think he's trying to set up that fastball. As we watch Olsen still get loose in the Wildcat pen. Sun keeps coming out, but the wind doesn't want to stop, Skip. First throw over by Jeleno all day.
Yeah, it is a cold breeze.
Cold breeze. It's just like right in her face, right? You know? It'd be one thing if it was like in the back of her neck. Instead, it's just coming right at us. Gotta be tough for this game. 0-1. Jeleno on the knees for a strike. Much to the grin, to the grin of the Wildcats, to the oohs and ahs of the Cougars faithful. They felt like that one was low as well. 0-2. Jeleno looking to potentially get the last out of the game for his day. Ripped out to left center. Boyd, though, does have a beat on it. Gonna camp underneath it for the final out of the 6th inning. All right, we got no runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on. Our score is 6-3, and we'll be back here for the bottom of the 6th at Wildcat Park on ETV.
(911) What's the address of the emergency?
When you call 911, we'll guide you through it. Just try to stay calm and focused and answer the call taker's questions. The first and most important information that we ask is the address and location of the emergency. From there, the questions being asked will depend on the emergency being reported. All the information you provide ensures that you get the right help as soon as possible.
At Dakota 911, the role of call taking and dispatching is split. While the call taker is speaking with you, their partner is already dispatching emergency services to the location needed.
Dakota 911 has tools to recognize and support communications in multiple languages. An interpreter may be brought on the line to help support the call.
Listen carefully and I'll tell you how to do chest compressions.
If you have a medical emergency, Dakota 911 provides pre-arrival instructions, such as CPR, until responders can get on the scene and take over. Seconds save lives, so the sooner we can intervene and provide care, the greater the outcome.
In an emergency, call if you can, text if you can't.
Hey, there's a nice little camera shot there by the amazing camera crew at ETV. That's right. Who do we have on the camera crew today? You might ask, Skip. Well, I got you. It's Nick, Robbie, and Rachel. And once again, we want to thank Tim, our director, Josh, our producer, and Joe on the audio. And well, here we are, bottom of the 6th at Wildcat Park. Casey Lux with Skip Newton. It's 6-3 is the score. Wildcats leading in this South Suburban Conference matchup. Shortstop, the junior Parker Pangier, set to lead off versus Harvey, who came in relief of Reed Marlin. And here, well, here's Harvey's pitch to Pangier. First pitch swinging up the middle, backhanded by Brill. Nice throw across the diamond to Van Putten for a quick out. One pitch, one out. And Harvey's done a nice job in relief, hasn't he, Skip?
Yeah, he has, and I was just about to say, Pangier having a nice day at the plate. Walked and scored a run, had a base hit, scored another run, so also with a stolen base. But, you know, 1 for 2 now officially with a couple of runs scored. That's what you need from your number 9 hitter. You'll take that every game.
And I was going to say, too, I mean, that was, he squared that pitch up. I think that's, you know, sometimes the ball hit up the middle on the mound, it can give you a hit because maybe that mound, you catch it just right, it speeds it up, and the shortstop or the second baseman is unable to get to it. That time, the mound didn't do him any favors because it hit the mound, it took a big hop in the air, allowing Brill to make a nice backhand and throw it across the diamond. Oliver Anderson, the center fielder, senior, up at the plate, and, well, he had a big blast a few innings ago, didn't he?
Yeah, just in the 4th inning, a huge RBI double.
Off the Green Monster. Remember? Off the Green Monster, Skip. We thought for a split second we might have a Wildcat Jack home run there for a second.
Still got a couple innings. Might get one of those home runs.
Could still happen. 2-0 pitch by Harvey in there for a strike. Oh, okay. I'm one pitch behind there, Skip. 3-1. Okay, but it still was in there for a strike. Okay, there we go. 3-1 pitch by Harvey. Ripped to left. Lined hard by Oliver Anderson. And well, that average is going to keep going up. Came in today, 269. He's got 2 hits on the day. 424 on base percentage, Skip. So that's going to keep improving as well. And well, we mentioned it before too, Skip. The speed of Anderson on the bases. Now 12 of 13 in stolen base attempts. Senior Will Mitchell, the DH, settles in. He's batting for the pitcher, Wyatt Jeleno. Inside, almost catches Mitchell on the jersey. 6-3 is our score. Well, now we have the Wildcats at 8 hits to the Cougars 7. That's our official number, all right?
And I like our numbers. I think
numbers.
ours are accurate.
I think so too. Swung through by Mitchell. Anderson at first. Always a threat to run. Haven't seen Harvey's move to first yet. Van Putten now playing first for Harbaugh. There is the move to first, and it's not going to matter as Anderson leaves on first movement, picks up his second stolen base of the day.
Even when he gets picked off, he steals the base. Anderson just a threat on the base pass.
Yeah. Well, and Harvey made a nice move there. It's just once he committed to that throw to first, he just didn't fire it to Van Putten, right? He kind of just lobbed it over there, and it didn't matter as Anderson was taking off. He's going to go again. Throw down by Dowzak. Excuse me. It is Rother now. Rother is catching. I wasn't sure if they were going to re-enter Dowzak, but Rother is catching. So Anderson now, his third stolen base of the day, up to 14 of 15 on the season. 1-2 pitch by Harvey. Mitchell fouls it, stays alive. 3 stolen bases on the day, plus that big RBI double. Nice little day for Ollie, as they call him, Anderson. I think that name's coming back, Skip. There's the... Okay, well, they're going to say hit by pitch to Mitchell. Anderson will have to go back to third. What do you think, Skip? Is the name Oliver coming back?
I can live with that.
Yeah.
Oliver's that's a good name.
I felt like it went away for a while.
Plus, I like the Ollie nickname, and yeah, you could hear it there. You could see it on the replay, but you know, a good call at home plate. He was definitely hit by that pitch. So unfortunate, you know, is it at least for now has prevented the Wildcats from scoring their 7th run.
Mitchell at first, Anderson at third. Senior catcher Brandon Lunenburg at the plate. Harvey's pitch down. Ball 1. What's Brandon done today? I know he had at least one
couple
base
of hits, an RBI, and a strikeout. And that was a strikeout in the 4th inning. We were talking about this in between innings where it looked like he was trying to end the game right there. He was really swinging for the fences.
Yeah. Harvey inside for a strike. Well, when you say a couple of hits, that just it lines up with the amazing season that he started off with. He's batting .500 coming in today, so he just wants to keep living at 2 for 4 every game, if not better.
And we should mention that Stefanski's pinch run in both those cases and scored runs both times and had a stolen base.
Mitchell's gonna go into going into second standing up. Will Mitchell's second stolen base on the day, 8 for 8 now on the season. Runners on second and third, and Cougars are going to try to keep this game tight as they're going to pull their infield in, and they're facing one of the more dangerous hitters in the South Suburban Conference in Lunenburg. And he just blasts one out to left center field for a Wildcat jack, Skip. You can get excited. It's over the fence, Skip. There it was. And that thing was on a line out to left center field, in between the scoreboard and the green monster.
Yeah, that thing did not take long to get over the fence, and he hit it to the right part too. Because if that is just another 10 feet or so to the left, it hits the green monster. Correct. But he absolutely crushed that ball to left center.
Yeah, let's go. I didn't want to get too excited to get ahead of myself. I wanted to make sure I saw it land, but you could tell kind of with the delayed reaction of everybody is that when people saw it land, they just couldn't tell if it was landing right in front of the fence or landing well past the fence. As Drew McShane on the first pitch gets hit in the back by Harvey. So the big blast by Lunenburg, like we said, he came up earlier and took some big cuts against Marlin, and Marlin did a nice job throwing off speed as he was unable to time up that off speed. Well, this time he gets into one from Harvey. The other thing I would say too is like off the bat, it didn't even have a sound to it. It was so lined up, almost deadening off that bat.
Well, and he didn't get it. It wasn't a high towering blast. I mean, it was just a line shot, which is why I wasn't sure if it went over the fence or if it just hit the bottom of it and stayed there. But
I don't think it got up more than 20 feet the whole ride.
Exactly, yeah.
Fastball misses up to Drew Boyd. What's Drew Boyd done here on the day?
Drew Boyd grounded out in the first inning, reached on an error in the third, and flew out to center field in the fifth. So 0 for 3 officially could use that first hit of the game.
And Drew Boyd gets into 1-2 straightaway center, and this one is off the scoreboard. Oh boy, I guess you could say, Skip. As we just see 2 home runs in the last 3 at-bats as Boyd just crushes one that I didn't know if it was going to have the legs on it, and that thing went off the scoreboard.
Yeah, that thing sounded good when he hit it too, and that's the second home run of the season for Drew Boyd on Eagan TV. He likes these ETV games.
Big ETV guy. Absolutely. Lunenburg with his 3rd home run of the season, and Lunenburg's 2nd home run in back-to-back games, right? He had a home run yesterday and a home run today. And, I guess you can hear in the background the Wildcat bench is pretty excited. And it looks like we are going to get a pitching change as well. Pitching change will be Brady Like will be coming in. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw it back to the truck. We'll be back here in about a minute or so after Like gets loosened up here on Eagan TV.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Wait, use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Casey Lux joined by Skip Newton here on Eagan TV. Once again, want to thank all the good people at Eagan TV. Well, we got the 3 that are out here in the elements. Nick, Ravi, and Rachel handling the cameras. Joe on the audio, Josh, our producer, and Tim, our director. We got Brady Like that's come in for Harvey as Harvey's day is done. And, if you've been watching this last half inning here, Skip, you've seen some fireworks here on this chilly Wednesday.
Yeah, the Wildcats really teeing off on a couple of those Harvey pitches with home runs by Lunenburg and Drew Boyd, expanding that somewhat close game. I mean, a 3-run game. We've seen weirder things happen in the last inning. All of a sudden, now they're up 8.
Yeah, I know. It just all of a sudden it just jumped up real quickly. 5 quick runs. Brady Like, tall righty. Curveball just misses. What would you guess there, Skip? 6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah, he does look imposing on the mound, doesn't he?
Absolutely. And the only thing I think you kind of feel for him too is I don't think he got a lot of throws in the bullpen, right? You kind of noticed that his first couple pitches were a little high and wild, so he's trying to get loose here during this first at bat. Facing Aiden Canty, the senior, set to play baseball at DCTC. Canty with a base hit his last at bat, playing third base here today for the Wildcats. 2-1 count by Light to Canty. High leg kick, misses inside. 3-1 now our count. And we've got some people throwing the football around here out on the outer skirts of the park here today, Skip.
Well,
this does feel like football weather, right?
Unfortunately, it feels like fall football weather.
Yeah, I know. There's a fastball in there for a strike, even though that Rother was crossed up a little bit.
They're probably just a little hyped up after last Thursday, Friday, Saturday's NFL
Oh, there
draft.
you
The
go.
big NFL draft guys.
There you go. Yeah, they might be. They might be. I know. I always say that, sometimes in the that April season of spring sports, if you add up all those days as we watch Likes pitch, misses for ball 4, you don't always think of it this way, Skip, but you've been around it long enough to know. You can have those nice falls, right? Where whether it be football, soccer, so forth that's outside, maybe that last regular season game match and then maybe a playoff game, sure, that could be your ones where it's maybe under 40, cold, maybe a snow game. You can play a lot of games of 45 or colder, no sun and so forth in the whole month of April when it comes to the spring sports. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I made the joke. I made the joke earlier about the coldest sport, with my kids was spring track, and I wasn't kidding. You get out on that track, and there's always a wind, and it was just freezing.
Curveball outside corner for a strike to Illa. And I think Brody feels like he's getting picked on a little bit here at the plate today. As a lot of these calls he has a good eye. If I remember correctly last year, I think he was one of the top guys on the team in walks and very few Ks. So look at a tee off against Like, and there's a strike. Swinging through strike as Canty got a big secondary lead. So Illa goes down on swinging. Darwin Black Deer Prado, the sophomore second baseman, will come up. 2 down here for the Cougars in the bottom of the 6th. Wildcats taking 5 runs on 3 hits so far here in the 6th.
Put one more over the fence and call it a game.
As Canty gets a big jump. He's going to grab a stolen base. I believe that's his second of the day.
That is correct. Yep, 2 stolen bases. Many stolen bases for the Wildcats.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Like facing Black Deer Prado. 11-3 our score, 2 down. Outside, misses. 2-0 our count. Skip and I have the Wildcats for 10 hits, getting them their 11 runs. And for the Cougars, we have them for 7 hits for their 3 runs. 5 errors for the Cougars. And as of now, Skip, a clean game played by the Wildcats.
Man, one more inning of pitching. I can't believe you said that out loud.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I suppose. Well, I'm not trying to jinx a no-hitter here. I'm just saying they haven't.
Yeah,
cleaned.
That's true.
I'm just saying they haven't made any errors. I know better than that. All right, 3-1 count. Brady Light came in relief of Harvey, who started the game as DH. As Black Deer Prado hits one down the right field line, giving chase is Albright, unable to corral it in.
Long run.
You know what? That was that Albright or is that Tyler Wild? Couldn't tell for a second if that's 7 or if that's.
Adrian.
It's still Albright, I think. Still Albright. I think it's still number 22. I think Wild just came in to pinch run. All right. Anyways, talking to myself once again, Skip. 3-2 count. Black Deer Prado. Darwin, the sophomore, second baseman. 2 outs. Brady Lake on the mound. Aiden Canty at second. Scoreboard just went out. Swung on. Strike 3. All right. Well, a lot of fun, a lot of fireworks for the home faithful here at Wildcat Park. 5 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 1 left on. We'll be back shortly here for the top of the 7th as we get a chance to see Tristan Olson on the mound for the Wildcats at Eagan TV.
911, what's the address of the emergency?
When you call 911, we'll guide you through it. Just try to stay calm and focused and answer the call taker's questions. The first and most important information that we ask is the address and location of the emergency. From there, the questions being asked will depend on the emergency being reported. All the information you provide ensures that you get the right help as soon as possible.
At Dakota 911, the role of call taking and dispatching is split. While the call taker is speaking with you, their partner is already dispatching emergency services to the location needed.
Dakota 911 has tools to recognize and support communications in multiple languages. An interpreter may be brought on the line to help support the call.
Listen carefully and I'll tell you how to do chest compressions.
If you have a medical emergency, Dakota 911 provides pre-arrival instructions, such as CPR, until responders can get on the scene and take over. Seconds save lives, so the sooner we can intervene and provide care, the greater the outcome.
In an emergency, call if you can, text if you can't.
When I look at all these success stories, I cannot help but think it all started by getting my high school diploma.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Welcome back. ETV, Casey Lux, Skip Newton, Tristan Olsen on the mound here for the 7th inning. First pitch swinging is Cashin Baden. Base hit out to left. He swung a nice bat here today, Skip. I think both of his hits were on the first pitch by Baden, the shortstop. Chase Hadelstead steps in. He had that big 2 RBI double back in the 5th inning. We'll see if they send Baden as he puts that oven mitt on. I'd like a couple oven mitts on my hands today.
No kidding.
First pitch swinging, hit to Canty. Canty over to Black Deer Prado, cross the diamond, and it pulled Illa off the base. Almost the 5-4-3, but instead of 5-4, fielder's choice. And Tristan Olsen, Jr., this is his 3rd outing of the season here, Skip. No, actually 2nd outing. As he went, well, give us the numbers, Skip, why not?
Just a couple of innings pitched.
1 game, yeah, so he pitched 2 innings.
Walked 3, struck out 2, faced 9 batters.
Okay. No hit, no hits.
No hits.
He gave up a hit. There you go.
Today, yeah.
Yeah. Big swing by number 13, Lamore. When the moon hits your eye, Skip, like a big pizza pie, that's Lamore.
Indeed.
There you go. There you go. There you go. We always, I'm a big Dean Martin guy, I think the Eagan TV guys have heard me talk about the Rat Pack enough, so. Anyways.
I was just going to say, I could go for some pizza.
Hey,
and there it is.
Line drive caught by Black Deer Prado, and doubles off Hadelstead at first, and you thought you were going to get a 1-2-3 inning, and instead they faced one more batter. Well, here we go, Skip. Let's do a real quick wrap up because it's cold, and the Eagan TV crew as well as the camera crew all would like to get home. All right, Skip. After what we just saw, we saw the Wildcats put up 11 runs. They did have that nice commanding 6-0 lead early, but nice fight by the Cougars to make it 6-3. And then the Wildcats come back with 2 big blasts. A blast by Lunenburg as well as Boyd, and putting up 5 in the bottom of the 6th. What's your rundown here today, Skip?
Well, we talked about the Eagan bats have come alive since the last Eagan TV game with the 21 runs. And that's been kind of the theme for the last couple of weeks. We saw it here again tonight. A great performance, and they put this thing out of reach in that 6th inning with those 2 big home runs. So a really nice quality win for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and you know what? Just like you said, Skip, their last 5 games, and that's their 5-game winning streak. 21 runs, then a 3-0 win over Apple Valley, then 16 runs scored, 8 runs scored yesterday, 11 runs scored today. Well, hey, thank you all for joining us today. For my guy Skip Newton as the color commentator, I am Casey Lux. Thank you again to all the ETV staff, and have yourself a wonderful evening, and look forward to being back again on ETV at Wildcat Baseball.